so incredibly cold right now that my fingers feels like ice. Yesterday when I was driving home from the studio, it was one of the, if not the most epic sunset that I've seen this entire year. So enjoy. You know, I was thinking about this whole thing about vlogging in public and how many people there is that are feeling comfortable with it. It's something that you get used to, not something that you overcome. And there will be a lot of people looking at you once you're doing it, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll become in actually doing it as well. I think that one thing that makes it uncomfortable is that, you know, when you're talking in the phone with someone, you always get the response. You also get someone that talks back to you, but when you're recording yourself, there's no one that can give you the feedback of what you're actually saying. Walking around with a camera, you're going to have a lot of people dragging their eyes towards you because you're doing something that is not part of the norm in one way. Another thing you can think of is to not put the pressure on yourself when you're hitting the record button. Just because you're recording something doesn't mean that you have to use it. And documenting the process is more important than trying to come up with something when you hit the record. It's just so easy to just cut away things that you don't need. Well, second day of snow. I think that it's mainly a matter of getting used to doing something, because the more you do it, better you're gonna get at it. For me, it's actually kind of simple because I don't really have the issue of people understanding everything that I say, since I'm doing it in English and I'm in Sweden. So I think that that makes it easier, but it would probably also be easier to share my thoughts if I made everything in just Swedish. Most of the time when you're recording a vlog, you don't actually have to talk when you're in public, because you can usually wait until you get somewhere private. The thing that you gotta focus on is just documenting what it is that you're doing. I mean, the biggest reason that I went to the store that I did was because I knew that there would be a lot of people, and I wanted to show you a prime example of not giving a shit. I know for a fact that one of the most common things to feel when you're like hitting the record button of your camera is that you feel a pressure of not knowing what to say because the camera is recording. And when you're outside and there's a lot of people watching you, usually what we are afraid of is doing something wrong or make a mistake when someone is watching. The thing is, though, that no one knows what you're doing, so everything that you do when you're recording yourself can't be a mistake because nobody knows what you're doing. And I know that it's a very hard thing to start thinking about the edit and how you can cut things out when you are actually recording things. But the more that you start doing that, the more you realize that talking to a camera isn't actually that hard. Okay, let's do an exercise, okay? I want you to start your camera and then have absolutely no pressure on what it is that you're about to do. Nobody is gonna see anything unless you actually put it in the video. And you can goof around as much as you want when you're actually recording. Just because you're recording things doesn't mean that it will be in your video, if you get my point. So start the recording, start fooling around, start goofing around with your ideas and with your thoughts and with what it is that you want to record. And then maybe dance a little, huh? Who knows? Just have fun with it. Practice, practice, practice. That is what we talk about a lot on this channel. And that is what it all comes down to. Doing it a lot so that you get comfortable with doing it. Starting to look a little bit better. Still far off from any like ripped shape, but it feels good to have the routine going of going to the gym.
Old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne.
There was some sort of stomach flu going around on the preschool yesterday. So Alex was puking and feeling sick from around 10 p.m. to 5:30 this morning. I haven't slept good at all. Ten out of 10. Ah, it gets hot. Sweating! The NERF arsenal. Hyper, ultra, and just pure fun. As of the recording of this video, it's currently December 1st, and I have been thinking so much about making a vlogmas, which is basically where we make one video every day leading up to Christmas. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be able to do this, but is this something that you would like? And if so, should we do it?